This is my sixth video lesson for Unit 10. In this lesson, we'll be learning how to speed up a chemical reaction. Go to page 25 in the class packet. Motivation. What are ways to speed up a chemical reaction, and what is a collision? We first have to talk about how does a chemical reaction happen. Let's say we have two elements, one is red, the other one is green. How would a compound form from these two atoms? Well, in order for a bond to form, they must be close to each other. So these two atoms would hit each other. By causing a collision, the atoms will be close enough to form a bond. Learning target. At the end of the lesson, I'll be able to explain 5 different ways of speeding up a chemical reaction. Homework B number 6, which will be a Junipod based off this lesson. There will be a quiz Junipod on PowerPoint 4, 5, and 6. Take a moment to watch a TED video about reaction rates. The link to the video will be in the descriptions. Once you watch the video, resume this one. We're first going to talk about collision theory, which states when new substances form, reactant molecules collide under certain conditions. This theory is used to predict rates of reaction. The two conditions or assumptions are correct orientation and enough energy. When the particles hit each other, they must hit each other at the right orientation in order for a chemical reaction to occur. If they hit each other at the wrong orientation, no reaction. In addition, the particles must hit each other with enough energy to overcome the energy barrier, known as activation energy. So in summary, how do we speed up a chemical reaction? We have to increase the amount of collisions. By increasing the amount of collisions, the reaction will proceed faster. In the TED video, they discuss 5 different ways. We will go over them in this lesson. Learning check number 1. Which event must always occur for a chemical reaction to take place? Pause the video and resume once completed. The answer is choice 3. Effective collisions between reacting particles. The first way of speeding up a chemical reaction is pressure. Keep in mind, this only applies for gas only. It has no effect on solids and liquids. So how does increasing the pressure increase the amount of collisions? Particles are closer together as a result of increased pressure, so there will be a higher frequency of collisions. As you can see from this diagram, increasing the pressure causes the gas particles to be closer together. Therefore, there will be more collisions. The second way of speeding up a chemical reaction is concentration. How does increasing the amount of particles increase the amount of collisions? By increasing the chance of collisions, since it's more concentrated now, there are more molecules. As you can see from this diagram, when you increase concentration, there are more molecules. If there's more molecules, there will be more collisions. A unit of concentration is molar. We will discuss molar in the next unit. As you can see from this GIF, when the red ball hits the green ball at higher concentrations, there is more collisions. Learning check number 2. State the effect of concentration of the reactant on the rate of chemical reaction. So take a moment to think about it, pause the video, and resume once you want to see the answer. The answer is, at higher concentrations, the reaction proceeds at a faster rate, so the shorter time. The third way of speeding up a chemical reaction is temperature. How does increasing the temperature increase the amount of collision? When you increase the temperature, you're increasing the speed of the particles. Faster molecules leads to more collisions, as you can see from this diagram. In addition, increasing the temperature provides more energy for the activation energy barrier, as you can see from this potential energy diagram. Here's a GIF comparing low temperature versus high temperature at the same concentration. As you can see, at a higher temperature, the particles move faster, therefore they'll collide more often. Learning check number 3. Which statement explains why increasing the temperature increases the rate of chemical reaction while the other condition remain the same? Pause the video and resume once completed. By increasing the temperature, the reacting particles will have more energy, therefore collide more frequently. The answer is choice 4. Learning check number 4. Which factors have the greatest effect on the rate of chemical reaction between silver nitrate aqueous and copper solid? Pause the video and resume once completed. The answer is choice 1. The reason why is not pressure because none of these are gases. Pressure only affects gases. The fourth way of speeding up a chemical reaction is surface area. How does increasing the surface area increase the number of collisions? When surface area increases, it exposes more molecules to collisions. As you can see from this diagram, when you break up a big piece to smaller pieces, you expose more molecules to collisions. Learning check number 5. A 5-gram sample of zinc and a 50 milliliter sample of hydrochloric acid are used in a chemical reaction. Which combination of these samples have the fastest reaction rate? Pause the video and resume as completed. The answer is choice 4 because zinc powder has the most surface area and 3 molar is the highest concentration. The fifth and last way to speed up a chemical reaction is a catalyst. How does adding a catalyst increase the speed of reaction? Adding a catalyst decreases the activation energy by orienting the molecules so the reaction is more likely to occur. As you can see from this potential energy diagram, when you add a catalyst, the activation energy decreases. Learning check number 6. For a given chemical reaction, the addition of a catalyst provides a different reaction pathway that does what? Pause the video and resume as completed. The answer is choice 4, increases the reaction rate and has a lower activation energy. This is the summary table from the TED video you watched earlier that summarizes the 5 ways of speeding up a chemical reaction. This concludes the video lesson. Remember to do the Juniper homework and quiz.